Misión Tecnología Conveniente. Nos organizamos con la alegría como hábito y la esperanza como virtud. Antecedentes y objetivos.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan Taplin. I started my working life after graduating from Princeton University in 1969 as the tour manager for Bob Dylan and the band. I produced the concert for Bangladesh for George Harrison, and then went on to Hollywood, where I produced Martin Scorsese's two early movies, Mean Streets and The Last Waltz. Over the next 40 years, I produced more movies, ran the media and mergers and acquisition group for Merrill Lynch, started the first streaming video on demand company, and was a professor at the University of Southern California and the director of the Annenberg Innovation Lab. That job put me in contact with many of the tech leaders of our time. Bill Gates once wrote, "I believe it is with great wealth comes great responsibility to give back to society." My new book, The End of Reality, seeks to understand four billionaire tech barons who have a very different view. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Mark Zuckerberg, and Mark Andreessen all grew up in the libertarian church of Ayn Rand, who said, if any civilization is to survive, it is the morality of altruism that men have to reject. If we are to inquire how we got to a place of radical income inequality, the looming potential for a second American Civil War, we need to look no farther than these four. They created the social media where online mobs create chaos, spark runs on stocks, and drag tens of millions of people down the rabbit holes of conspiracy theories. And for that, we reward them with billions of dollars. I use the term techno-determinism to describe the path these men have dictated for us, the future they're now selling to us. A world run by artificial intelligence, crypto fortunes, living in 200 years old, spending our lives in the metaverse or on Mars. It's mostly hype, but because of their wealth, people are buying into this dangerous future. Insight number one, we are in a battle between nature and the machine. I believe that the ultimate goal of these prophets of modernity is to replace nature with technology, to rebuild our society in such a way that a few of them might fulfill the most primal human dream, to become gods. When the Google CTO, Ray Kurzweil, who has promoted the idea of the singularity, that is the moment when artificial intelligence will be able to surpass the brain power of humans and will be able to evolve on its own. When he was asked if he believed in God, he replied, "Not yet." But by 2045, Kurzweil believes that we will have entered the age of spiritual machines, where humanity will no longer be the most intelligent or the dominant species on the world. Last year, thousands of Hollywood actors and writers went on strike because the question of whether art will be created by men or machines are up for grabs. One thing I'm sure of, an AI chatbot will never create the kind of work of genius that has moved our culture forward over the millennia. As the critic Harold Bloom wrote, all genius is idiosyncratic and grandly arbitrary. AI operates on the theory that all the possible original in the universe are already contained in the data sets they have ingested from the internet. There's nothing idiosyncratic about its input. The rise of AI as a cultural creator will only lead to mass mediocrity. To understand the political and society danger luring the technocrat schemes, we should recognize that there are two views of the future on offer. One argues that the collective investment priorities of our society should go towards solving issues like the climate crisis, the mental health emergency, income inequality, and the lack of affordable housing. But the other view, the one held by the technocrats, is much darker. In this version of the future, artificial intelligence and robots ruled by the technocrats will do most of the work, and a large portion of the population will sit at home, living a fantasy life in the metaverse, subsisting on universal government-paid universal basic income, And anyone who thinks this is some kind of dystopian fantasy should visit Amazon's R&D facility, as I have, to see the future of a whole warehouse operating by 5 humans and 5,000 robots. In April 2022, the Association for Advanced Automation reported that U.S. orders for work rights robots had increased 40% in the first quarter compared with the same